But the question is, why do so many people have problems getting a carrot harvest? Not greens, just carrots. Yeah, it's a good one. So I think these are the main 6 things that leads to carrots being hard to get a good harvest. So carrots are, it's funny because carrots are one of those crops that, it's like iconic to grow a carrot in your garden, so we all want to, but it's harder to grow a carrot than it is to grow a radish or to grow a turnip. Why is that? So the carrot family, typically the germination rates on that family are a little bit lower in general, that family. The seeds, I don't know why that is, why that family has less germination rate, but it does. So also the carrot has, what I find is it usually says that it will germinate within 7 to 10 days, but a lot of times I find that it can take up to 21 days. It's kind of crazy. Like if the temperature is not right, we talk about the ideal temperature being 75 degrees for a lot of crops for them to germinate in the least amount of time. There's a relationship between the outdoor temperature, the soil temperature, and the number of days to germination, if you remember in Module 4. And with carrots, what we're doing a lot of times is we're planting them when it's colder than those temperatures. Sometimes it's as cold as like 40 degrees, 50 degrees. So what happens is it takes up to 21 days to germinate, and we get anxious and impatient because it's not germinating as quickly as we want, and you need constant moisture. And it's so hard to keep constant moisture for 3 weeks on a seed, right? So that's one reason why a lot of people fail, is that they can't get the carrots to germinate properly. And when you look at the data this way, you can understand why, right? And like I said, carrot seeds are prone to lower germination rates. Right out of the bag, the seed manufacturers will tell you that the germination rates for carrots are more like 75%. So the seeds are not always viable. So that's another reason holding people back. So it's taking a longer time, and the seeds sometimes are not as viable. Over time, carrots are a seed that tend to lose their germination rates faster than other seeds. So you might have lettuce seeds around for a couple of years, and the germination rate is still 90%, but your carrot germination might go down to like 50%. So typically that happens as well. Now, carrots like loose, sandy soil, space for those roots to grow. So for some people, they might grow a tiny little bit of a carrot, and then their soil is just too compact, and the carrot has nowhere to go, so it has a hard time growing. So that's another reason why it's hard for people, especially people with clay soils. And with carrots, thinning is completely essential. So turnips, radishes, they're a little bit more forgiving if they're a little bit crowded, but with carrots, there's something about them that's a little bit more hormonal, and if you don't thin them when they're just like an inch tall, a lot of times they won't grow in. You'll end up with a carrot that is a tiny thin root and 6 inches of greenery above, and it'll stay like that for months, and it won't grow in. And you may have thinned it, but you may have thinned it just too late. It's a very particular plant in terms of timing. Heat can interrupt the maturity of the carrot. So oftentimes carrots are started in the spring and then they're harvested in the summer. But what happens is with the heat, the carrot tends to slow down and wants to stop growing. And so sometimes people are like, oh, my carrots are growing, my carrots are growing, my carrots are growing. And then all of a sudden you get a load of days that are like 90 degrees or 85 degrees. And all of a sudden your carrots do nothing, or worse, they become brittle and they're just not as good. So carrots really like those cooler temperatures, and so right at the moment when they're starting to mature, the heat comes in and can sometimes get in the way of people's harvest. So oftentimes people have a better chance of fall carrots, but it's hard in fall to grow a carrot because you're trying to seed when it's really hot out. And so when those carrots are little babies, it might be 80 degrees and you're trying to keep them really cool. So on either end, the number of days that you need to grow a carrot can push you into a hot zone, making it hard to grow the carrot. And then patience require all of this. And so for a lot of us, we want very easy crops. We want low maintenance crops. And carrots definitely want just the right kind of conditions. And so our patience is tried for sure. And if we have, if they have some issues growing in, then later we get frustrated and we tend not to try them again. So that's why I think that carrots are so tough for people to grow. So it looks like this might be Kathy's question. So that means, Kathy, that these next 4 questions are probably your questions as well. And so that might be the mystery solved. Let me know as I go through them. And if you're having, you might have asked this question because you have a lot of success growing carrots and you're not sure why you're having success and other people aren't, and you want to understand, is my life just easy? Do I just have the carrot, green thumb or what? For some people, they're patient and they recognize that the carrot is special, wanting, a lot of days to germination, constant moisture, that it likes this loose sandy soil, that you got to thin them, you keep out of the heat. For a lot of people, if they know all those things, then carrots seem really easy and they can't figure out why it's so hard for other people. So,
if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And for more simple and practical gardening tips, subscribe to Grow Your Own Vegetables. For more tips and updates, visit gyov.org and join our growing community.